What is up, humans? Hey, how are you guys doing? Cool. Hey, how are? All right, so I think Sophia is going to get the cake here for the most loyal listener on the podcast. That was like instantaneous. That's super cool. What's up, Stephanie? What is going on? Hope you guys are having the best Tuesday ever. Hello, how are you? TikTok, if you want to skip. Drop a win. Let me know what's popping. Let's go. I dream of you. I am. That is so funny. Definitely, thank you. Let's go. I love it. Are you guys pumped? I'm going to be talking about my routines today, why routines is important, and how that applies to you, all that good jazz. So I'm going to jump right into this. Call here 15 minutes. You guys know that I like to stack my calendars back to back. Why do I like to do that? I might actually unpack that a little bit in this episode. So it's what it is. Alyssa, what's good? Casey, thank you for tuning in. It's lit. Fucking my clients are so loyal. I absolutely love it. Hey, we got some other human beings on TikTok. What's going on? We got a few more over there on Facebook and LinkedIn. This is cool. All right, let's do it. Ready? 3, 2, and 1. What is going on, Mother Truckers? Welcome back to another episode of the Shift Your Mind, Change Your Life podcast. This is your favorite online coach, Coach Sal. Let's get it. My energy is a little off today because I traveled a lot this weekend. And before I get into this, the title of it is my daily routines. But I wanted to kick this off and give you guys a vulnerable share. My energy is a little off because of the traveling that I did, and then also with the fires in Kelowna right now. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, but there's been a ton of wildfires in the British Columbia area where I'm currently living with Chelsea, and it's been a little hectic to say the least. To like go back and forth and deal with all this stuff, and like in my head, I was like, I'm not gonna let this bother me. I'm not gonna let it be an issue. But I don't know, it's kind of affecting me a little bit because I feel for all these people that right now are going through an extremely difficult time. There's people who lost their homes, who are living in hotels, who are having a really, really challenging time right now. Like part of me wanted to just like brush it off, continue with my day to day, but I feel obligated to just say, like, give my 2 cents on that, and I wanted to give some thought and energy and send my love to those families and all those people who are struggling right now because I can't imagine what they're going through. So I just wanted to quickly send a prayer and a thought to them before I get into this and publicly record that, because I'm seeing it. Like, I'm from New York, right? So me being in Canada and seeing these fires like firsthand is pretty crazy, and it's something that I've never experienced before, and it's like super new to me, and it's difficult for me to wrap my head around. And like, excuse me, like I said, like it's affecting me mentally and also like physically too, with like the air quality, like not being able to go outside, not being able to get sunlight. It's pretty crazy, So don't want to spend too much time on that, but I wanted to kick this off and lead with that because my energy is a little off for that reason. Now, the title of this episode is my routines, what they look like, how I'm from sleeping in every single day to pretty much knocking everything out on my to-do list before like 9, 10 a.m. And you're probably listening like, damn, how is that possible? Because it's my schedule and how I do things. And I wanted to pull back the curtain a little bit in this episode and give you some light and some context into how I do that. Now, before I do that, I want to help you guys recognize, if you're new here, that I used to be a person that stayed out. I can't even like say some of this shit half the time. But literally the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekend for probably a good, 8 to 9 years, and I lead with that because going from that part of my life to being out all the time, like prioritizing everything but my fitness journey, and now being on this other side of the spectrum where I feel like every day, every minute, every hour, every decision that I make is extremely calculated. It hasn't always been this way, and I think single-handedly how I've been able to make all this change and how our clients see a lot of change is building quality routines, and breaking that down can be like a very I wanted to say simplistic. That was the natural word that came into my mind, but I also want to say it's something that doesn't have to be as complicated as you think it needs to be, right? So that's what I'm going to be breaking down, and I have so much conviction in all the things that I talk about because I'm living proof of that.
And if you don't know me well enough, like that's the purpose of this episode, right? But for me, like a few years back, like I didn't recognize how powerful quality routines really were. Like, I don't know if you guys could resonate with this, but I used to say things like, I'm bored all the time. I don't know if you guys understand where I'm going with that, let me know in the comments. But literally, I used to sit there all the time and say, I'm really bored. Like, I don't know what to do with myself. Whereas, like, now, I can't even tell you the last time I've ever said that. Why? Because I've gotten very clear on my vision and my purpose and my mission and really trying to change my life and change other people's lives. And that comes from getting clear on where I'm trying to go and then getting clear on the schedule and mapping it out day to day. And for you, if you're listening to this right now and maybe you don't have some results that you want in your life, like, let's make the analogy. Maybe you're on a fitness journey, right? Maybe you want to lose some weight, you want to build some muscle, you want to start a side hustle. There has to be a vision that you're trying to create, or I should say there should be a goal that you're trying to achieve, and then you reverse engineer the process and you map out every single day what it's going to look like, and then you build a routine around that. But without a routine, it's going to be difficult for you to see success because you're just throwing fucking spaghetti at the wall, and I've said that before, but I really think that there's so much power in habit because let's just be honest, right? Like, as human beings, we are routine creatures. We value structure, we value routines. Now, you might at this point be listening to this and you have a routine, but then there's the other layer of it. It's like, well, how could we optimize that? How could we make that better? And I think one of the biggest things that jumps out to me when I say that is specifically with our clients. I say time and time again on our team Zoom calls or in our one-on-one chats with our clients is like developing a either nighttime ritual or a morning ritual or both. Ideally, you should have both. So if we break that down, a nighttime ritual is something that you do to get yourself into a quality sleeping pattern, because without quality sleep, it's difficult to show up pretty much with anything that you're doing, which I'm sure you could agree. So the nighttime routine then bleeds into the morning routine. And both of those go hand in hand, which allows you to take care of yourself before you start serving other people. And I think that's the issue with so many of us, is that we're so quick to just get up, grab our phones, hop in the shower, rush to work, and we never take time for ourselves. And then it becomes this cycle of, I don't have the time to work on myself or go to the gym, prioritize my fitness goals. Oftentimes, it's really just a lack of time management and building a solid routine, right? Like, if you really sat down and you mapped out every hour of every day and you got very clear on what you're doing during those times and you stayed integral with that, then you'd be able to move mountains. Now, I'm not saying that unexpected things don't happen in life, because they do. Let's be real. And I would be lying to you if I said that sometimes my routines change a little bit, because they do. But what I'm saying is I've gotten so crystal clear on building a schedule for myself that it's allowed me to cover so much ground in just one day. I would make the argument that I cover more ground in one day than most people do in a week. And when you think about that, those types of efforts compounding for months and years, that's the difference between people who are achieving very high levels of success and between those people who stay the fucking same. Like, I'm just going to call a spade and say what it is, because that's what it is. And if that hurts your feelings, then maybe that's something for you to look into. And sometimes these conversations are not easy, but again, what's more challenging than that is continuing to be in places that are not serving you and being frustrated with your results. Now, the title of this was my daily routines, my six-figure routines, things that I do every single day. But I wanted to give you context and an understanding as to why that's important before we break that down. Because like I said with our clients, if we don't have a structured nighttime ritual, then we don't have a morning routine. And if we don't have a morning routine, we wake up and we rush towards everything every single day. And I'm sure you're probably listening to that and you're like, I've probably been there a little bit. And that's an exhausting place to live. And it's not an enjoyable place to live. And nobody deserves to do that. So when we take an outside view and we look at this, okay, I'll give you an example to give you some more clarity, okay? So for argument's sake, let's say you want to be up at 5 a.m., right? If you need 8 hours of sleep, what time do you need to go to bed? Maybe 7, 8 p.m. if I have my math right. I'm not a math wizard, but you get where I'm going with that. So if I need to be in bed by 8 o'clock, then I should probably try to get into some form of a sleeping pattern by 7:30, right? So then maybe I need to finish my work by 6 o'clock. You see where I'm going with that? So then if at 6 p.m. you draw a hard boundary stop with your screens, and then from 7 to 8 p.m. you perform your nighttime ritual, whether that's a bath, a shower, reading a book, killing the lights, whatever that looks like for you, then that will allow you to get to bed at that time, 8 p.m., get your 8 hours of sleep, and then get up at 5 a.m. because you have to be at work by 6, and you wanted to give yourself that first hour of the day before you get to the gym. So that way, not only are you able to do your morning routine, but then you're also able to do your workout before you have to go to work and serve other people. And that's what I'm saying. That's really the whole concept of this episode. So if you take nothing else from this, take that. It's just about really looking at your day-to-day life and trying to figure out how you could carve out more for your time. And that's why when people say, because I've heard this 1,000 fucking times, man. If I had $1 for every time someone told me I don't have the time, I wouldn't need to work another day in my life. And this is what it comes down to. It's not that you don't have the time, because we all have the same 24 hours. It comes down to how you manage it. Am I perfect? No, but I could tell you this, going from where I was, sleeping in till fucking noon and saying I'm bored and this and that, having all this other bullshit that came up in my life, to being where I'm at now, it's like I said earlier, you know, I do more than most people do before 10 a.m. that they do in the whole fucking week. And people are wondering, why don't I have results? Why am I not successful? Homie, you just probably don't have a good game plan, you know? But and you might be listening to that and be like, damn, that fucking hurts. But here's the thing, it should also excite you. Because if you're operating at a certain level right now and you've been able to see a decent amount of change, then think about how much better it could be when you optimize these routines. And guys, it doesn't have to be, like I said, this drastic, difficult process. It could literally just be, let me map out my nighttime ritual so I can get to bed at a certain time, so I could get up early and actually get my steps in before I have to go be at work. So I could actually nail my workout and not be frantically in a packed gym at 7 p.m. with 100 people and every machine is taken. And then I'm frustrated because I can't execute my program and I feel like I'm not getting the results I want in my fitness journey. And then I might as well just give up, press snooze, hit the fucking button, and just quit like everybody else. And that's the thing. It's like, logically, this makes a ton of fucking sense in the point of, like, if you don't want to be like everybody else, you can't act like them. And that's just the truth and the reality of it. You know, I feel like I've been able to get to this position because of this shit. It's like the boring, tedious, monotonous stuff. It's like, how much can you do it every single day? And even this morning, even the last few days, I've been sitting in bed for like an extra minute or two in the morning, like, fuck, I have so much shit to do today. This is going to be crazy. And I have to like motivate myself to get up there for a second for like the first 1 to 2 minutes when I open my eyes. And I'm just like, boom, like, let's fucking go. And like I said, I'd be lying to you, but if there wasn't a part of me that questioned that at times. But we fucking do it anyway because that's what it takes. So I want to give you guys some tangible lessons on this topic, talking about routines and how it can make such a difference in your life. First one, early bird gets the worm. I'll say it again, early bird gets the worm. I really do believe that because most people, maybe most people get up at 7, 8 a.m. I mean, it depends, obviously, right? But what I'm saying is the compelling effort of you getting up earlier gives you extra time throughout your day to actually move the needle forward. And you're not in that reactive state. And I think that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me with all of this is that, like, you're either in that reactive state of always rushing and being behind the clock and frantically trying to speed when you're in the car and get to the job and run around and this and that. And it's just a very exhausting place to be. But how cool would it be for you to take your time and still be on time and still be able to do all these things without feeling like you need to rush all the time? Like, I've been there. It sucks. It's not fun. So early bird gets the worm. You've probably heard that before. Second point, success like speed and routine. I'll say that one more time. Success like speed and routine. If you want to achieve success in your fitness journey, in your life, relationships, whatever it is, you have to take fast action, and you also have to have a form of structure and ritual. Because like I said, humans are routine animals. We value structure, you know? And just like I said, you could sit down, man, and take 5 to 10 minutes, look at your calendar, look at your days, and try to carve out intentional time to do these things. It's not that we don't have the time, it's how we budget that, which makes all the difference. And that ties into the last one, number 3. Without structure, things crumble. Without structure, things crumble. I know for me, if I don't have a very clear idea on what I'm doing, I feel very sporadic. I feel like a chicken without a head, and it's not a lot of fun. That's why on my phone, on my calendar, I have every single fucking task, every single day that I know I need to do, and I'll literally take it off my calendar and remove it every single day. That's why I don't miss. If you're a client of mine, you're like, dude, how's this guy so on point? That's why. Because if I didn't have the reminders and the visual cues to look at those certain things, I would forget about them, to be honest. Because I have, like, you can make the argument, I have ADD, I have this, I have that, and I can sit here and blame myself and use that as an excuse as to why I can't show up and do this and that. But how fucking lame would that be? To say, hey, I have ADD, that's why I forgot, and I'm sorry, I'll figure it out next time. But that's a lame ass excuse. So what do I need to do? I take the initiative, I write it down, I put it in my calendar, and I don't fucking miss. Same thing for you guys. And I think this episode could give so many people so much clarity because you recognize, like, damn, it's actually really not that hard. And if I zoom out and I really break down the structure and I stick to it, I stay committed, and I commit myself to that, why can't you freaking, right? Why can't you make some strides there, bro? Shit. That's what it is. All I got for you guys here today. Hope you got some value. Thank you for spending a couple minutes with me here. We'll see you in the next episode. Peace, love, and protein. Do yourself a favor. Write this shit down. Go and implement it on it. Damn. Go and implement on it. Stumbling on my freaking words today. But that is it. If you want to leave a review and let me know what you're learning from this, that'd be super cool, and I'd really appreciate that. Have the best day of your entire lives, and we'll see you guys soon. Let's freaking get it. Okay, I'm out. Let me know if that was cool. Let me know if you got something from that. I got to bounce.